There you are. Okay. That's good. Are we... Karen, are we ready? Yeah. Lena? We're good? Okay. Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the regular council meeting for Tuesday, March 3rd. It's currently 7 o'clock. Before we get started, the Village of Anmore would like to open our meeting by recognizing the many Indigenous peoples of our area, including the following First Nations with communities that are located in the region that we now know as Metro Vancouver. That'd be the Musqueam, Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, and Coquitlam. Further, we would like to honor the important place in history occupied by the many territorial keepers of these lands and waters around us since time immemorial. I'll call the meeting to order. Could I get someone to move the recommendation that the agenda be approved as circulated? Moved? Seconded? Any discussion? Seeing none? All those in favor? Carried unanimously. We have public input. Public is allowed to, for 2 minutes, participate in public portion to provide comments. 2-minute time limit applies to any speakers. If you could just state your name and address, please.
Ben Lowen, 1722 East.
I don't think that's on.
Oh, check. Gotta speak close to the microphone. Ben Lowen, 1722 East Road. Before we start the timer, is this getting recorded as part of meeting minutes or as part of our...
It's recorded live.
Recorded live. Does it get into the meeting minutes?
No.
At the end? None of what, anything that's in the comment section or in... Oh, do you mind just pausing the time for a second?
Ms. Essen?
Thank you. Through the chair, the gist of what was raised is recorded in the minutes. I can provide you with examples if you'd like.
Oh, so it doesn't get documented into the...
Not in verbatim. We don't take verbatim minutes.
Okay, great. And then at the end, the question period is same sort of setup. No direct meeting minutes into the work.
Correct.
Into the doc. Okay, perfect. Awesome. So we sent, on behalf of myself, fellow residents, and those who are living along East Road beneath the Pinnacle, proposed development. We provide our comments as per your recommendation from last council meeting. So I won't get through it all now. We'll save some for the questions at the end. But really, the big takeaway here is we would appreciate to hear council's responses to these questions. And while we wait to hear back from you on your answers, comments, follow-up questions, we would request that this be put on pause before any major decisions gets made. We'd love to hear your responses to these questions, comments, and hear more about how this process has gone in light of some of the comments in here where it seems like there's a number of missing items, a number of missing assumptions, a number of missed technical details. We'll keep it less technical so we can answer this here tonight, but I guess maybe the big question is how long do you expect to take, or what's the typical time frame for Village Council staff to respond to an email with comments or questions from Village residents?
This is just for providing comments, so
yeah,
that
so
would
we'd
be...
love to hear that. At the end, we'll do... Well, I'll ask this question at the end, but knowing that's coming. I guess, has everyone had a chance to read that email? And we can provide it here tonight for your chance to read that. You haven't read it? Okay, I'll pass you some.
Okay.
But just as a point of order, that was another question. Like,
yeah,
so...
it's supposed to be just comments. Yeah, he's correct.
Okay,
yeah.
I'll provide it for your reading pleasure. Yeah,
okay.
I'll leave that as a comment there.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks. Anybody else? No. And please, it's just comments, no questions at this point regarding, and it has to be on the agenda.
Paul Ray, 1700 East Road. At the last meeting regarding Pinnacle Ridge, I mentioned that the overflow or the water running down the hill, it's not absorbed by the land, is extreme, and invited you all to come up and have a look for yourselves. No one took me up on that, and so I have a thumb drive here with 4 separate files on it, video files. I'd like to give this to you, John, and ask that you could pass it around to each of the councillors for them to see, or alternately
You'd probably have to give it to staff or, yeah. Okay. What I would suggest is that you reach out to each council and each councillor individually, and if you want to, and then show it forward to them that. I was on site and did see what you're talking about, so I don't need to see it again, but I think it's important, and that if you want to, but again, this is just comments regarding what is and that at this point, so please, no questions.
I've got them on my phone. Could I please see each of you after the meeting?
Thank you.
No answers? No? Yes? No?
Yeah, no questions. Yeah, no. Is there any other public input regarding items related on the agenda? No? Okay, we'll move on. We have a delegation. Nicole Herjek and Julie Mitten are here to present regarding Anmore Community Market. Welcome.
Hello, hi, thanks for having us. Mayor and Council, Nicole Herrick on Sugar Mountain Way and Julie Mitten on Uplands. We're here as part of the Anmore Community Market Committee today to bring to you the idea of having a second annual Anmore Community Market. I think I saw most of you there last May. So this year, our purpose again would be to bring the community together at the Anmore Hub, to use our amazing hub to showcase and celebrate all the members of our community, members of the village. 4 key vendor focuses this year would be local artisans, young entrepreneurs, of course, which we had a ton of last year. It was so cool. A lot of local businesses and wellness as well. Last year, we actually had, our big success was we had about 700 people, we figured, come through the market throughout the day. So that was amazing. I mean, we didn't imagine it being as big as it was, and it was really, really cool. Overwhelmingly positive feedback from everyone that we spoke to. In fact, on the day of, everyone was asking, when can we do another one? So here we are. We were able to use the full use of our hub. We saw neighbors meeting, we saw new introductions being made. It was just a really beautiful day. So our leadership team, again this year, the same as last year, Julie, me, and then Amanda and Ashana, who couldn't be here today. And our wish, our ask this year. So our ask is for council's support in creating a second market on Saturday, May 9th. In the same ways as last year, we'd love your support in donating the room for our use, including the grounds and the tables and chairs, access to a village staff member just to help us kind of troubleshoot little things throughout the day, marketing on the website and social media through the village. And then last year, you know, we were, when we did our delegation, we were kind of asked to go through the CC committee, which we're totally happy to do again this year. It was a great experience. But we were also curious if maybe we could skip a step if possible and just streamline the process a little bit and have your support and approval for our market this year. And that was it. Yeah, thank you very much.
Just before, I just wanted to ask, I was at it last year. I think Councillor Trowbridge and myself walked around. It was a great, great success.
Really great, yeah.
And it was amazing to see the building being used as well as it was. And it was the first house, so I can imagine the second one will be even better. How did we deal with parking though?
So we had a whole bunch of signs that we created with arrows going towards the school. So we had access to the school. We actually involved the Anmore Elementary PAC in our market. So they did a bit of fundraising at the same time. So we had access to the school parking lot.
So that would be the same then this time? Okay,
the same,
yeah, because
And we kept all the parking for people with disabilities near the hub, yeah.
Perfect. I know that when we've had some of the events, like even Christmas, we're starting to have a bit of a problem, especially with the construction that's going on in the back here on Murray Lane. So it's something that we'd have to be even more conscious of this time and that.
Yeah.
So.
And then we had arrows like marking the pathway back up to the Spirit Park too. So
good. I'll open up any questions. Councillor Richardson.
I'm just curious, do you charge people to have a table? Like, how does the whole, like, are you for profit? Are you a charity?
No, we're not for profit at all. In fact, the kids get free tables. Community groups get free tables, like non-for-profits. We charged last year $40 for vendors to have a table, and that was mostly to cover our insurance. At the end of the day, I think so our idea was whatever proceeds we had at the end, whatever profit we had, we were giving back to the community. We had to make signs last year. We had a lot of costs that we probably won't have this year. It was our first year doing it. I think at the end of the day, we made about $300 in the end, which we donated back to the community groups. So we would do the same thing this year. Hopefully, we would be able to fundraise a little bit more. Our idea is it's a fundraiser, for sure. Yeah, it's not for profit.
Okay, so just for clarity, like you gave $100 to the Scouts and $100 to the Garden Club kind of thing?
We did the groups that helped us out. So it turned out to be the Scouts, and I think it was the youth group as well. Last year. Yeah.
The other, Councillor Cryer.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for wanting to do it again.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what procedure is here, but I, of course, support it. If you have to come through the CC committee, I'll gladly take you. I'm not sure where we go from here, but I just wanted to know that I'm happy that it was very successful. I wasn't able to make it last year, and I'm looking forward to it this year.
Thank you.
I think, Ms. Essen, do you have a resolution drafted?
Through the chair, yes, I do. That the Anmore Community Market be allowed to use the community hub on Saturday, May 9th, 2026, and that the market be supplied with tables and chairs for the event, and staff be directed to provide assistance with logistics and marketing of the event.
Could I get someone to move that? Moved, seconded. One other thing I just thought of, we're going to have to allocate some parking for the retail, the coffee shop down below, just so that we're not inconveniencing them as well.
They're going to be a part of our market, actually.
Okay. Perfect.
We're friends, and we've spoken to them, and
okay.
Okay. They'll have a big role in it. So
good,
for sure.
Good. Perfect.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
More comments? I'll call the question. All those in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you, and looking forward to it.
Thank you so much.
Okay. We have the minutes of the regular council meeting held on February 17th, 2026. Could I get someone to move the recommendation? Moved. Seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Carried unanimously. Is there any business arising from those minutes? No? Okay. We have a consent agenda. We have 2 items on the consent agenda. Could I get someone to move the consent agenda? Moved. Seconded. All those in favor? Carried unanimously. We have 9A legislative reports, legislative Anmore Road Naming Amendment Bylaw number 733-2026, Cordovado Subdivision, first and second reading. Mr. Joseph.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So this report presents Anmore's Road Naming Amendment Bylaw number 733-2026, which proposes new road names for the Cordovado Subdivision to amend the bylaw. So at the February 17th regular council meeting, council directed staff to propose the names Timber Way and Salal Drive for the 2 new road names in Cordovado Subdivision, and to invite the developer to provide alternative options for the road name reserve list. The developer has since relayed the support for Timber Way, but proposed a slight variation from Salal Drive to Salal Court. In reviewing the proposal, staff also consulted the Saskatchewan Volunteer Fire Department to ensure the names would not create any confusion for emergency services. The department confirmed that Timberway and Salal Drive are both unique names to both Anmore and Belcarra, and with that respect, Salal Court would also be a unique name. So council has 2 options for consideration this evening. The recommended option is to give first, second, and third reading to the recommended bylaw, which would be incorporating the developer's name, Timberway and Salal Court. Alternatively, council may choose to proceed with the original name, Salal Drive, by replacing the bylaw schedules as outlined in attachment 3. Do you want me to state the recommendation?
If you could read out the preferred option.
Yeah. The option is that council give first, second, and third reading to Anmore Road Naming Amendment Bylaw number 733-2026 as presented. Thank you.
Could I get someone to move that? Moved, seconded. Any discussion further on the names? Call the question. All those in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. We'll now move on to 9B, Anmore Procedure Bylaw Amendment. Ms. Essen.
Thank you. Just, it will be a very brief introduction from me. At the regular council meeting held February 17th, 2026, council considered a report by the manager of corporate services regarding this bylaw amendment and passed the following resolution: that staff be directed to bring back an amendment to the Anmore procedure bylaw by changing the public question period after the information items to a public input and public question period. As per the direction, the changes are made, as you can see in the attachment 1. Conduct of public, which was the previous direction, the section B was removed, and public input and question period were amended as requested, and then I believe the council supported the suspension of those 2 periods during election time, and that was kept. And it is in front of council for consideration, and the recommended option is that Anmore procedure bylaw amendment bylaw number 738-2026 be read a first, second, and third time as recommended in the report dated February 27, 2026 from the manager of corporate services regarding the Anmore procedure bylaw amendment report back.
Could I get someone to move the recommendation? Moved and seconded. Open up for discussion. Councillor Richardson.
Yeah, so I've been paying attention to this the last little while, years actually, and this is more of a comment. I tried to find a way that potentially would fix this in the procedure bylaw itself, but I don't think there's an easy way to do it. So council has listened to the people and we've removed 64B. Essentially, we've opened up to questions and to comments at the end of the meeting, and we've maintained comments at the beginning. What seems to happen is people, and this is, both the responsibility of council and the participants, ignore that it's supposed to be questions only at the end and none at the beginning, and the focus at the beginning is only to be on items that are the agenda. And this kind of gets lost, and at the last council meeting, the question periods were going 4, 5, 6 minutes. There is an onus to keep them within the time limit. That's both on the public, and it's also on us to call it if people are going over. Like the ideas I was floating through staff was, we have a red light and a green light and a yellow light, and they blink and all this kind of stuff to give people warning, but it really shouldn't be embedded into the procedure bylaw. And my main concern here, if it doesn't improve, is those type of things will have to go in. And during the Icona days, there was many comments that were made that the council room and council comments and questions to council has to be a safe place for everybody. So I'm actually a very big believer on that. It shouldn't be you get more time if you're favorable or you get less time if you're unfavorable. So I'm asking both council and participants to really read it, understand it. If you think you're going to go over 2 minutes, practice and cut words out. Like, if you can't get a question across in 2 minutes, we're not going to understand the question. So I would like to see that improve, and I think it'll make overall the municipality better. Please.
Any other questions, comments? So what this does, it adds a commentary, so people can, rather than, because quite often what I'd have to do is go, do you have a question? Could you lead to a question? So this actually opens it up to both aspects in regards to this. And they're not, these questions are towards council and not staff. And I know that some of the questions get very technical, and we'll just have to simply state, we don't know what we'll have to get back to you with the answers. So please be respectful of that, because, I've been at this for 18 years. My memory isn't as great as it was on decisions that were made many years ago, or if they're of a technical aspect, it's better, and I said this repeatedly last council meeting, send your questions in via email, and that's where you're going to get a more wholesome answer. So, yeah, but I think the key thing is that these shouldn't be focused towards staff at this point in time. Okay, so no further comments. I'll call the question. All those in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. We'll move on to 9C, Anmore Water Rates and Regulation Bylaw Amendment. Ms. Martin.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is to present the Council with a bylaw to amend the Anmore Water Rates and Regulation Bylaw 555-2016 with a recommendation that council give first, second, and third reading to Anmore Water Rates and Regulations Amendment Bylaw number 736-2026.
Could I get someone to move that? Second? Open up for discussion. None? I don't want to put you on the spot. Do you know what the breakdown is between the Metro Vancouver rate, the Port Moody rate?
There's a 59%-ish increase from the Metro rate to the Port Moody rate.
Do you know what the totals are?
No, I don't have the new rate from,
Oh, from Port Moody?
yeah, just from Metro.
I believe the Metro rate is about $1 a cubic meter. Is that?
It's now $1.08, so it's gone up 8%.
And that's the wholesale rate that's charged to each municipality.
That's right.
And so just to be clarified, so the agreement that we have with Port Moody regarding the water is that they, because we use their infrastructure as well as their electricity and some chlorination to pump it up the hill, they upcharge it. I think they at least 2.5 or 1.5 times.
It's 59%
Yeah.
over and above.
Yeah. So anyway, okay, I will call the question. All those in favor? Carried unanimously. How are we on the implementation of all the water meters? I noticed, I read in the report that it's supposed to be done by 2028.
So we do have in our budget this year to complete the meter changeover.
Okay.
And once we have all the meters over to Neptune, then we'll be fully complete in 2026. That's our goal.
Yeah.
It's a lot of meters still to change over. We're on our way.
I'll move on to 9D, the 2026 Anmore Solid Waste Management Bylaw. Ms. Martin again.
All right, me again. So this is to present council with a bylaw to amend Anmore Solid Waste Management Bylaw 554-2016 with a recommendation that council give first, second, and third readings to Anmore Solid Waste Management Bylaw Amendment Number 737-2026.
It's moved. Seconded. Any discussion? None? I know in previous years we've always asked, I think Ms. Elric, in regards if we could change the date of pickup, because I think it, originally was in the early of the week, but I'm pretty sure they can't change it. But was that request again extended, or?
Through the mayor, we can certainly have that conversation again. They do have a dedicated crew that comes out here on Fridays, but something we can definitely bring up.
The other question that I had is that I will quite often get called on a Friday at about 5 or 6 o'clock saying that my green waste hasn't been picked up. Could we put a specific number, a 24-hour number on our webpage for its BFL, so that there's a number clearly that people, rather than them phoning our public or our emergency number as well as that, or?
Through the chair, there is the number of GFL.
Okay.
GFL is our solid waste collector, and then also collects the organics through the province as well.
So it's right on our webpage there?
It is, yes.
Okay, good. Okay. Did we move that? I think we passed. Second, oh, okay, I'll call the vote then. All those in favor? Carried unanimously. We'll move on to new business 11A, General Local Elections Officers Appointment. Ms. Essen.
All right, here came the time. Thank you. Through the chair, as per the Section 52 of the Local Government Act, the general local elections for the mayor and all councillors of each municipality must be held every 4 years on the third Saturday in October. The next general local election is scheduled for Saturday, October 17th, 2026. Section 58 of the Act also regulates the appointments of election officials and states that for the purposes of conducting an election, the local government must appoint a chief election officer and a deputy chief election officer. Corporate Services Department is responsible for election operations. After these appointments are made, the department will be able to advance the necessary preparations to ensure a fair, accessible, and transparent elections. And the elections bylaw will be presented to council for consideration and adoption by these officers sooner than later. Fingers crossed. And the recommended resolution is that Lori Darkus be appointed as the Village of Anmore Chief Election Officer for the 2026 general local elections, and that yours truly be appointed as the Village of Anmore Deputy Chief Election Officer for the 2026 general local elections. Before I conclude my report, I would like to provide some background for Ms. Darkus. She very humbly provided a couple of sentences, and she's right here with us today. But again, I would like to underline that this humble bio does not necessarily reflect her incredible resume. Ms. Darkus has been in local government for over 30 years, with most of these years serving as corporate officer, director of corporate services, and several assignments as deputy CAO. She has run 7 elections, including 2 by-elections, and was last year at Anmore in that capacity in 2014. Ms. Darkus take a break from municipal work to pursue a PhD in archaeology at SFU, landing a teaching and research position, but has always continued to do so, to do consulting work for municipalities, and we're incredibly fortunate that she agreed to be with us. Thank you.
Good. Thank you. And you have a recommendation?
I can reread the recommendation. That Lori Darkus be appointed as the Village of Anmore Chief Election Officer for the 2026 general local elections, and that Isagyo Zakara be appointed as the Village of Anmore Deputy Chief Election Officer for the 2026 general local elections.
Good. Could it moved? Second? Any discussion? See none? All those in favor? Thank you, and thank you for attending tonight. We'll now move on to the Village of Anmore Accessibility Plan endorsed. Ms. Hessen again. Thank you.
Sorry, I talked too much tonight through the chair. We are incredibly proud to present the council with the accessibility plan at this meeting. It's been a long but and somewhat challenging journey, yet we're so happy that we are here today. As you know, Accessible British Columbia Act essentially sets 3 requirements for every municipality in BC: an accessibility committee, an accessibility plan, and a tool to receive feedback on accessibility. And with hopefully the endorsement of the council tonight, we will be able to have all 3, which is very exciting because minus this plan, we are not able to apply for grants and other opportunities. So we're very happy to further this very important work for both staff and council. The first version is initially shared with the CISI members, the committee members, at their September 15, 2025 meeting, and they provided extremely valuable feedback, the members, and we're very thankful for their dedication and their volunteer service. Of course, that feedback was later incorporated to the plan, and the final version was endorsed at the meeting on February 19th, 2026, and it's also attached to this report. There were some goals and specific objectives attached to each goals were identified, and hopefully after tonight we'll be able to work towards them very diligently. Of course, the work doesn't end here. Our accessibility work will continue as we know more about the technology, as we know more about our community's needs. I don't think this introduction is sufficient. I'm gonna if the mayor allows it, I would like to also return to Councillor Cryer just to provide some information, if that's okay.
Councillor Cryer.
Thank you. You pretty much said it all there. I really appreciate it. It has been a long road, and I'm very grateful to Ms. Essen for taking the lead and making this a priority the last few months. Also grateful to the CC committee, who made some excellent revisions, and we've come out with what I think is an excellent accessibility plan, which will allow us to do a lot of great things in the community, and most importantly, get some good grants to make those things happen. So it definitely aligns with our strategic plan, and I hope you will all support it.
Good. Any other? Councillor Weber.
I don't want to be negative, but I'm supportive of the plan, of course. But there's not a lot of plan, but there's a lot of acknowledgements. Is the plan itself the intent that it evolves and gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and this is sort of the framework, and this is the seed? That's the answer to the question, yes? Okay, good, thank you.
Good.
Do you have anything in particular that you'd like to note?
No.
Are you saying the accessibility plan just has a lot of, or are you talking about the
Well, no,
words we
it
said?
just-
Do you want us to say
There's
more?
a lot of introduction,
Yes.
the stories, the acknowledgements, and
Yeah,
I just expect
legal stuff.
like there's going to be ramps here, there's going to be details.
Oh, well, that's what we're doing. So we're doing a study at the end. We're sending out a survey later in the year,
Okay,
which will ask those questions, and then from that, we'll build more.
okay,
Plans.
I understand.
Okay.
And thank you for your amazing work on this.
Thank you,
Councillor Crowell.
Councillor Wevering.
So the recommendation is that the Village of Anmore Accessibility Plan be endorsed. Someone to move that? Moved. Second. All those in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Essen and Mrs. Cryer, Councillor Cryer. Okay, now move on to Brain Health Awareness Event. Councillor Cryer.
Thank you. All right, I'm very excited to be speaking to everyone about this. I need my glasses. So I think we all recall when the hub first opened that we wanted to do activities in the hub, and it took us a while to get our housekeeping in order so that we were able to do that. And very early on, I was approached by the Safe Care Home Support team to do some dementia care, brain health, just general programs for seniors. And I think we're finally to the point now where we can actually do that. And thanks to the accessibility plan being approved, we can now get some funds in to do that. So keeping in mind that we want to get started with March being Brain Health Awareness Month, we are proposing, again, it was the Safe Care Home Support through its Adult Cognitive Wellness Center, came to us and wanted to do a brain health workshop sometime in the month of March. So it's a very, very busy month, and we did come up with a date where the room was free and the team was free. So we're looking at March 30th from 10 a.m. to noon, and the event would include music, light snacks, information on brain health, and interactive activities that support cognitive wellness. The goal will be to create a relaxed environment where community members can learn, connect, and take away practical information that supports well-being at all stages of life. So this is not just open for seniors, it's open for anyone who feels they need to keep their brain sharp and they want to learn a little bit more ahead of time. We will also invite 1 or 2 additional community organizations or service providers that support brain and cognitive health, and that will allow us to provide information for guests to take away with them. The workshop will feature an engaging talk on the role of music, movement, and mindful activities in supporting brain and cognitive health, followed by a short Tai Chi demonstration led by a speaker which highlights mindful movement. The main presentation will take about 60 minutes, followed by a Q&A. So again, this aligns with our strategic plan and accessibility plan. And I do have a request for council support in the following areas. Endorsing the one-time brain health workshop on March 30th, waiving the room rental fee, supporting promotion of the event through the village's social media channels, weekly email blast, and community signboards, directing staff to assist with event logistics as needed, and approving a small budget of up to $100 to cover the cost of snacks. And I do have a recommendation that I updated from what is in your agenda package.
Okay.
Ready? Okay, the recommendation will read, whereas Council's strategic plan calls for an engaged community that supports and increases community engagement and involvement, enhances a sense of community, and fosters a welcoming and inclusive environment, therefore be it resolved that Council endorse the one-time brain health workshop on March 30th from 10 a.m. to noon, waive the room rental fee, support promotion of the event through the village's social media channels, weekly email blast, and community signboards, direct staff to assist with event logistics as needed, and approve a budget of no more than $100 to cover the cost of snacks.
Could I get someone to move that? Moved and seconded? I just wanted to, I attended the last one and it was amazing. And we actually received a lot of people came from Belcarra.
Yeah.
So are you going to be with the promoted into Belcarra and
Yeah.
open to it?
I do actually would like to get your input on this. There was discussion of opening it to Port Moody. which I'm on the fence on. I'm a little worried about parking for that time of the day, so I would like to open it to Belcarra.
That's what
Are
I
you
would just
good
do
with- yeah.
Belcarra, yeah.
And
Because
then-
I remember, like the last time we had it, it was in the trailer, so it must have been
It's my first
3,
term. It
4
was
years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was a bit
and it
of a-
was well attended, and there were a lot of people there from Belcarra and that. So I do think, Port Moody does something on their own.
They do, and I think
Yeah.
eventually we can pair with them when parking is a little different here. And also, I'd like to gauge the interest in our community so we can work towards getting a grant to do, Mazzy with Safe Home Care would love to do a monthly program of some sort. And that would be a goal, once we see how this goes and we gauge interest in it.
Any other comments? Okay, oh, Councillor Richardson?
Yeah, I'm all in favor of these type of things. I think it's great use for our hall and for our community. Regarding Port Moody, like if they would provide a shuttle bus or something from their parking to here, then they could be included. And I'd actually like to see that invite go out if possible with some limit on size so it's more available to the local community. But, you know, these type of events I think are better if they're more wide-ranging, I would say.
I agree, and that's definitely, it's a conversation I can have with them. If it works out, I too agree that it's nice to have a big full room.
Good, good. Okay, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Carried unanimously, and thank you for your work on that. Okay, move on to the mayor's report. A couple things. I received a few phone calls yesterday regarding the agreement between the Musqueam Nation and the federal government related to recognizing Aboriginal rights, and it goes right through Anmore. I don't know a lot about this. The details are on the Canada website. I can tell you this, that at Metro Vancouver, we get lectured from a fellow by the name of Tom Isaac, and he's the Aboriginal lawyer. He did a bunch of work with treaty negotiations. He is an amazing speaker, knows his inside out. He is now doing a lot of media, and it's somebody that I really find interesting to listen to about these topics. He is going to be doing some podcasts on it. His name is Tom Isaac, and he is an actual Aboriginal lawyer, and he's very, very well versed in this. He came and spoke to us at Metro Vancouver. We've got some claims regarding Coquitlam Park, one of the park, and there's a treaty issue between Port Coquitlam, Metro Vancouver, and Coquitlam with the old Riverview lands. So he was involved in that negotiation. So just please, like I said, I don't know a lot about it. So when people reached out, they were worried about what was going on. So just you go to the Canada website. Spring break is upon us, March 16th to the 27th. So you'll notice a little less traffic around the school zones. Today I was contacted by a gentleman who I know on Hemlock. He was walking his dog down Hemlock towards Sunnyside to cross the road and almost got run over. And I'm just wondering if we could maybe flag, maybe to do some sort of speed check, or ask the RCMP if they could just maybe do a speed check. He said that it's been quite common that the cars are speeding as they're heading south, I guess away from the lake or whatever, people late for appointments. So I just wanted to flag that. And then the last thing is, this Sunday will be the last time I guess we spring forward with our clocks. So I guess we should be prepared for next winter, having a lot of dark mornings. So I'll go on to Councillor's report. Oh, sorry, Councillor Weber.
I just want to say that I'm glad that Council has finally passed this procedure bylaw amendment. I think this caused a lot of problems in the last few years, especially with Anmore South, and I think it's a great way to set up the next council for success, so we don't have to see that kind of thing again. And I agree with Councillor Richardson, everything he said about how we conduct ourselves and how the public conducts themselves, and the importance of maintaining a safe space and a safe space for staff and us as well. It didn't always appear that way at times, but I'm glad to see that done.
Good. Councillor Richardson.
Yeah, okay, so speeding on Sunnyside, I walk my dog. I'm tired of giving my one finger salute to the cars that are going so fast. So I would think that something needs to be done. And if anybody has experience using sports radar things with detecting cars, please let me know, because I think about going down that path. And then over the last 2 weeks, I've spent considerable time talking to many residents about the hillside. And for those that are coming to the end, they've probably noticed that I'm a bit agitated and annoyed at times. And so this is my advice to people if they want to engage with me again. I hear lots of arm waving with little facts. I hear lots of accusations with no data. So if you're going to say we're violating the procedure bylaw, or not the OCP, then you actually have to say it's policy blah, blah, blah in these words, because we have to start getting to a common language and understanding. So I'm going to make this advice for all residents. You can take it or not. If you want to have a fruitful discussion with me, please read or listen to the June 4th, 2024 council meeting. That's where we decided not to have the OCP amendment. The September 10th, 2024 meeting is when we gave it first reading. July 22nd, 2025 is second reading. You can hear the discussion, who voted for what, yes, no, etc. I also recommend you read the OCP, perhaps even the zoning bylaw. And this one's going to be a little difficult because I think it's not legally trespassing, but the owners may say it is. Walk the hillside. They've actually cut in roughly where the roads are going, so you can walk around and see what's up there. And then walk around the village and identify floor area ratios that you like or don't like. Like, this would be exceptionally helpful to bring a common discussion, understanding, vision for what it is. And I think it's really important. The arms waving around aren't really helping anybody from any side. Anyway, thanks.
Councillor Craft.
Thank you. A couple of things. I don't know if anyone has mentioned, and if they did, I totally missed it. The new signage on the outside of the building. It's very nice. Well done. Good choice. Lit up so you can see it at night.
Good.
Also this weekend is Share Imagine. Those of you that are familiar with Share know it's one of my favorite events and my favorite organizations to support. Everyone thinks of them as the food bank, but they do a lot more than the food bank. They have a housing arm, they do counseling, they have, I don't know if they still have their thrift store, but they're one of the largest not-for-profits in the Tri-Cities. They are the largest. They have the largest budget in the Tri-Cities, and they do a lot of good for a lot of people. And it's their one and only major fundraiser this weekend. Thank you.
Good. Okay, move on to Chief Administrator's report. Ms. Elbert.
Thank you. Just in response to the concerns about speeding, just want to encourage everybody that when they do see those activities to please call the RCMP non-emergency line. They do respond, particularly if you have a license plate. I know that Councillor Trowbridge and former CAO Julie Halliwell did just that and got a response and reply, so please do so, and I encourage folks to do that. It's more difficult for law enforcement after the fact, you know, but if you do observe those unsafe conditions, please do report them.
Good. Good, thank you. We'll now move, we have some information items. Move on to public question period. 2-minute time limit applies to speakers. We have 20 minutes, or else we need a motion from council to extend. So if you could kind of keep your questions brief, and if they're very detailed, I will suggest again, please send emails to particular councillors if you want, or council in general. So whoever would like to go first. If you could just name and address.
Jurgen Dirkten, 1815 A East Road. I would just a comment and question no one can really answer, but I'd like maybe some direction. I was interested that the mayor pointed out that we need some sort of number for the village if green waste isn't picked up, for example. But in my household's instance, my son has tried to catch the bus at night, and twice the bus driver would stare at him and simply pass by. And I'm just not sure what the bus is there for and how you could address that issue.
TransLink takes that very seriously, and that's why they make sure that the schedules are run very, very specifically. So if you can give me or send me an email and give me with the time, I can forward it on to our community relations with TransLink to look into that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ben Lowen, 1722 East Road. So a couple questions we'll run through real quick, and then we can hear responses. We'll keep it non-technical. Question 1, can council confirm when you expect to provide comment or response to email sent from myself and fellow residents yesterday? Can you confirm when you expect to provide details to some technical, non-technical questions? Question 2, can council pause all decision-making regarding the proposed Pinnacle development until we receive feedback on said email, until an informal information town hall style meeting is also held? Question 3, can you confirm if you've received any detailed hydraulic modeling based on the updated Port Moody model to support this proposed development? How can a subdivision of this size be even considered without approved or a detailed hydraulic modeling? Question 4, concerns about septic field. Have the analysis been done under wet conditions? My fellow resident here, Paul, will email you an email with a video as mentioned earlier. Question 5, when do you expect to provide comment response from comments provided by the Burrard Inlet Marine Enhancement Society, Sassamant Fire Department, City of Port Moody as per February 3 regular council meeting? Question 6, who is liable for damage done to due to additional runoff from the proposed development? Our insurances for the buildings located south down the hill from that proposed development is not covered. So who would be responsible if and when that extra damage would happen? Lastly, a couple requests, and you'll see in the email for additional comments and discussion from the council. And lastly, I think for reducing question comment period time, the big load, the big demand likely necessitates an in-person, informal town hall meeting just due to the high volume of questions and comments. So if that's a concern, let's have one of those to address that. Thank you very much.
I didn't catch, can I just ask, are all these questions in the email that was sent this morning?
In part, yeah, these are the non-technical ones that we were hoping to address tonight.
We can't, I certainly can't address all these. I don't know what the answer is.
Yeah, I was just wondering if anyone had any answers.
I received the email this morning.
Yeah.
I didn't receive it yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And it's lengthy.
Yes, it is.
So
we provided email as directed last council meeting to
I haven't, okay, I will, I can't give you an answer when I'm going to be able to respond to it. But I will I'll try and put a response myself.
Is there a common response period that the village sort of
I would probably need until Monday.
Sure. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how great my answers are going to be on it because some of it I'm not
great.
certain either.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Councillor Weber.
Through the chair, just be aware that this whole process, and it's been discussed many times, and I would remind you to listen to Councillor Richardson and go through everything he's suggested. My question to you, and I know this isn't supposed to be back and forth, have you gone through all the information that is available?
Yes.
So,
a good portion of it, if not all of it.
Okay, so just to advise on our process, we're not professional engineers. We count on our staff to review the applicant's proposal with the applicant's professionals. So we may have some of the same concerns as you, but those concerns may inform us. So I don't know if it's appropriate for council to advise on, as Mayor McEwen said, anything technical. What we would be looking at is, okay, that was a good point that guy raised. So when I'm getting close to third reading, when all the reports have been vetted and staff makes a recommendation to us that we should do this or we shouldn't do this, this is why we should, this is why we shouldn't, and now you can ask your questions. When we have all the information available to us, vetted by our professionals, that's kind of the process. So that would be my response to you, because I'm not going to get into the weeds on all those things. It's not really our job to do that.
Totally. Yeah, providing it to your professionals to answer the questions might be best.
So does that kind of answer your question from as far as response?
Or do you expect to have your professionals provide responses to
Well,
those?
I'm just sort of explaining the process to you that we go through for decision. And it's much different than if we're doing an OCP amendment or something like that. This is a rezoning.
Yeah.
So that is our process. And I'm not suggesting that we don't want to answer your questions, but as Mayor McEwen said, we may not be able to give you fulsome answers. We would probably defer it to our staff anyway and maybe own it.
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, we love that.
Okay? Thank you.
Councillor Richardson.
You said something in one of your questions that I hear a lot, like, let's pause the process and don't make any decisions. We gave it second reading. We're not making any decisions until it comes back with all the relative information, including CACs and everything. So there is nothing currently before us to pause. So this statement to do that is strange to me, unless you know something that I don't know, and please share it.
Yeah, we know that this is moving pretty quick, so we just want to make sure that these get addressed. And,
Okay, so that's the problem I have when I'm out there. It's moving pretty quick.
Yeah.
Compared to what, by who, how?
Well,
I don't see anything anywhere that it's moving very quick. So, you know, if you're gonna, like, this is, like, you see I'm getting a little agitated, like, for the people that I met on the sidewalk and almost took them out, like, this is why. You have to provide evidence.
Yeah, usually the hydraulic modeling is provided before now, and it has been provided, which potentially begs the question that it's moving
But that has
quicker.
nothing to do with quickness, right? Like it's specifically those words that are starting to drive me nuts. All these assumptions, it's moving too quick. You didn't make this decision. They're assumptions with no basis of fact. So, again, be careful. And like just little things. I read most of your email, but you talk about units per acre in the OCP. The OCP does not talk about units per acre, the 1.8. It's lots per acre. 1.8 lots per acre is the current OCP, and you've mixed up units per acre, which
Councillor,
changes the whole discussion.
We have 20 minutes, so
Okay.
I will just sum it up. The OCP decision has been made by this council, and so we are within the OCP. That's why it's
in draft.
not subject to a public hearing. But
Totally.
I will do that, and I will suggest, because I haven't been to your property, I was to a neighboring property, that to invite council members to come up and see
welcome
and
to come.
yeah,
Totally.
so.
Yeah, we invite.
Okay.
Come see how the creek is flowing. We'll send it. We'll circulate the video of what the report shows as a dry riverbed, and we'd love to have you out to come and see that.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks.
Ready? Okay.
Name and address, please.
I know. Nancy Maloney, 1724 East Road. I'll quickly try to get to my question within the 2 minutes. But Chris Boyd's company, ISL, conducted a traffic study some years ago, which I did identify speeding as a problem even back then. And actually, I've given a copy of that report to the Chair of Public Safety, Doug Richardson, because it's actually part of the mandate of the Public Safety Committee. And I believe this has been one of the identified issues which the committee members targeted in one of their early meetings of the current group of people. And in the past, with different people, this committee wanted to conduct speed watch, but for some reason at that time, the committee was refused permission by the village to be able to initiate that. So my question is, could council request a meeting of the Public Safety Committee, given that this is their mandate, with the clear direction to come up with ideas for addressing this issue? And related to speeding and the person who approached our mayor recently, at the time ISL did not include any pedestrian safety issues. And at that council meeting, I did ask why pedestrian safety had not been included. and they said that they had not been instructed to include that issue. It was just sort of like vehicle safety. But related to this significant problem, I frequently have the experience, cars do not stop at our crosswalks. A person who's here tonight recommended that you just step into the crosswalk and that will, I know, I agree with Kim. I said, this is not how I want to die. Yes. Yeah. But very rarely does a car stop at a crosswalk, even if you are standing there, even if it's in the daylight. And I am reluctant to take the advice of someone who's here tonight who said, Nancy, just step out there and that'll make them stop. I don't want to do that. Okay. So there's my question. Can this be directed to Doug's committee with a scheduled meeting?
Oh, yeah. What I think we'll do is I'll talk to Ms. Elric tomorrow or the following day, and we'll see if we can get, we have a liaison officer. I don't know who it is now, Neil Romer, and see what some of his ideas, because if it's becoming a bit of a problem, the problem I was talking about was on Sunnyside, but you're talking one I think of on East Road. And
well, it's all over.
Yeah, and when we have brought it to his attention, he has set up radar traps. They mainly are in the school zones and that, but I will, I can reach out, or one of us will reach out and talk to him and see, and then maybe see if he'll even come to a public safety meeting.
Back in the old days, when I was originally on public safety, called Protective Services at the time, anyway, the liaison officer was quite willing to attend our meetings. Yeah. So that has happened in the past.
Just labor challenges now in the RCMP
exactly.
right now.
Things have changed.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, could I get a motion to adjourn? Moved, seconded, all those in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you everyone for coming out.